Hey everybody, it's Maurice J. Gallagher, author of the unofficial Final Fantasy VII novelisation and also Accelerary. This is usually a video diary for my Patreon account I do, but today I'm going to do a kind of pre-KupoCon special. So before we actually get to the KupoCon stuff, I'm just going to kind of give you a brief update to what I've been doing on my projects. First of all, the last couple of weeks have actually been a bit horrendous. I live in Glasgow in Scotland and it's been snowing very, very heavily in this neck of the woods. So it's caused a bit of disruption travel-wise and also just kind of getting out and about. But the most impact it's actually had is I've had a very bad bout of man flu, which, as we all know, is the worst affliction known to man. So I've unfortunately kind of lagged behind a little bit on my projects, but not to worry, I'll kind of catch up at a later date. Very quickly, the first thing to talk about is maybe just the kind of Myth Monday entries. As I mentioned in my last video, I've been working on the fire giants of Norse mythology, the Muspelheimir. This week, patrons will have had access to the little piece about Nerthus and her connection to the Norse god Njord. If you've had the chance to read, you'll know that the connection I spoke about in the last video is to do that. Nerthus was a kind of North Germanic goddess in the kind of the turn of the millennium. She was still kind of going by the time the Romans occupied what is now northern Germany. She's very much a fertility goddess and quite an important figure. But from Norse scripts, we know that the god Njord was kind of affiliated with nature and fertility and things like that. And one of the most interesting things about that is that there's a sister of Njord that's attested in the Norse myth cycles, but she's never actually given a specific name. And one of the weird things about that is that from a kind of naming perspective, the Norse version of Nerthus would have been Njord. Okay, so there's a kind of connection there, and it's possible that the individual who was the fertility goddess may have kind of had her roles divided to become the kind of divine pair of Njord and this unnamed sister. So it was pretty interesting to do a bit of digging into that, and I hope that the Myth Monday piece on that has been interesting as well. Like I said, it's been available to patrons for most of this week. It becomes available to everyone else on Monday. And following on from that, I'm going to be doing Olympus, as in the kind of the home of the Greek gods. So do look out for that. Patrons will get that this Monday. Everyone else the following Monday. In the last couple of weeks, I've also released the next section of Chapter 6 in my Final Fantasy VII novelisation. Now, this is really just covering, as I mentioned before, the journey between Cosmo Canyon and Nibelheim. I wanted to use this for a bit of character building. It's been interesting to do that. Obviously, the opening few chapters to the Cetran Legacy is based in Cosmo Canyon, so I haven't been able to flex my muscles a little bit in kind of world building when it comes to the kind of landscapes that I often enjoy doing. So it was nice to do that. I hope you've enjoyed that part of the chapter. I'm really, really excited to get to Nibelheim and obviously kind of focus on Cloud and Tifa's reactions to finding Nibelheim is still standing. One of the other things I've been doing on the project, obviously, as I mentioned, I've been unwell. So I've used this time to actually speak with some of my new editors on the project, namely Chantel and Jonathan. They've kind of thrown in their 2 cents for the opening 5 chapters, so I've gone through their notes, had a look at what they've got to say about it, and a lot of kind of interesting comments have come out of that one. Good food for thought, and I hope to kind of implement some of their ideas for the sort of final release, as it were, once we get to that for the Cetran Legacy. And the previous video as well, I mentioned that I would be doing a behind the scenes podcast, either a script or hopefully actually a podcast itself, for the chapter 3 of the Cetran Legacy. again, unfortunately, I was really under the weather, so I wouldn't have been able to complete that. My voice was just horrendous. So that'll come at a later date. So apologies to anyone who was waiting on that. I did manage to get a few pieces done for the Nibelheim project that we're working on for KupoCon in Birmingham. Speaking of which, I hope you guys have had a chance to see some of Crimson Sun's artwork that she's produced. It's just kind of concept art at this time for the various chapters, but it's absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, please do check it out on the Patreon account. It's just glorious. I can't praise her enough for the work and what she's doing for this project. So hopefully, as the weeks go on, we'll be able to share more and more. There are a couple of pieces that I haven't shown you yet, so that's coming soon. Do keep an eye out. But like I said, the focus of this video is mainly just kind of the lead up to KupoCon London. The event is called Birmingham Palace. It's taking place next Saturday. I'm so excited about this. So excited. For those of you that are not familiar with KupoCon, it's a fan event by the fans for the fans, specifically for Final Fantasy. I've been to one already this time last year in London. It was an incredible event. They've done a couple more since. The most recent one being in Toronto back in January, which went down an absolute storm. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Alex and Alan have cooked up for us in the Generation 2 games and the guests that are going to be there. It's kind of orientated around Final Fantasy 15. John Campling, who played King Regis, Liam Mulvey, who's Libertus, Adam Crosdale, who's the voice of Ignis, and Will Bowden as well. He's going to be there. So I can't wait to catch up with those guys. Can't wait to catch up with my friends at the livestream.net. But the whole day itself is just it's amazing. Being able to kind of walk among the cosplayers that have just spent months and months on their costumes. So much effort goes in from these guys, and it's a pleasure and an absolute privilege to be able to be able to speak to them and kind of admire their work. And the day itself has got loads of events. Alan and Alex, they've already told us some of the events that will be happening. We know anyone that was at Mind the Pom last year will know roughly what to expect when it comes to the kind of the laughs and the jokes from Nerstradamus or the games that Conquest are bringing. But for me personally as well, I'll be doing a book signing as people are coming in. The door same as last time. Now, for those who have been to or did go to Mind the Pom, if you have a Knights of the Round ticket and already have a copy of my first novel, A New Threat, you'll be getting a copy of the second one, which is 50% larger. That's called The Man in the Black Cloak, which covers the events from Calm up to Cosmo Canyon. If you didn't have or if you didn't come to Mind the Pom or haven't got a copy of A New Threat, you can actually pick that one up. There's also going to be limited numbers of whichever books are left over after the Knights of the Round ticket holders have taken their pick. So there is the option for a kind of to bump up your ticket or to upgrade your ticket, which would allow you access to one of these books. Like I said, these are in limited supply, so it's really kind of first come, first serve. But I hope anyone that is interested will have an opportunity to be able to pick that up. My book signings for these will take place in the first hour during the registration period. But I will be at the event and the night event. So, if you want to come and say hello or have a quick chat or just kind of discuss the book or get the book signed, just come and approach me. I won't turn anyone away. I'm just grateful to be there. On top of that, again, as I've mentioned before, I'll be doing a book reading as well. That'll be taking place during the KupoCast, the live KupoCast. So I'm really excited about that. I've already chosen the section of the book that I'm going to read. In the interest of fairness, I've picked out an extract that actually appears in both novels. So it would allow people who have picked up the first one with their Knights of the Round ticket to actually read along as well if they chose to do so. I'm not going to reveal exactly what it is yet, so it's hopefully a small surprise, but really looking forward to that. I hope my cold stays away, or my man flu stays away. And that it's just my accent that causes problems. With regards to the event itself, I'm also really excited about the evening event. I know that the guys have been working hard for new bits and pieces. Alan has promised us that his quiz is going to be much easier this year, and given how impossible it was last year, that could be anything between easy and slightly less expert level. There's a speed dating element as well, which I'm really curious to give a go, and it's going to be an amazing day. I can't wait to meet everybody, or kind of see returning people again. And I hope that you can make it, or that you can make future events. And yeah, let's keep it going with this hashtag Final Fantastic event. And yeah, I hope to see you all next Saturday. Cheers, man. Take it easy. Bye bye.